Yo, what's up, YouTube Boxing family? It's K Rod here. I'm back at it once again. I'm here with the brother D Hive Boxing. Me and him are just gonna have a good old boxing talk, and yeah, let's get right to it. All right, you got the floor, D Hive. Let's go.
Uh, I, well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Yep.
And yeah, we just came from uh Art Man show talking about the Terrence Crawford situation. And look, I personally, I really want to be done with this shit. I really hate it when y'all keep dragging me in to talk about this son of a bitch because like there's nothing more that needs to be said. And every time Terrence Crawford opens his mouth, it gets more and more incriminating. And the reason why I hate arguing with his fans is because whenever you make a point and they ask a question and you try to answer the question just as it was asked, all they do is say but and ask more questions. And sometimes the reason why I get so animated is because unfortunately in my life I've had to catch people in lies a lot. Either they're lying to themselves or they're lying to someone else or they're lying to me. But you know, it all just sounds like a bitch that just got caught cheating. Like you ask her a question and then you get an answer and then then she asks you a question and you answer and then she goes well but. It's like, oh, there is no but. It's just there's the fucking truth in what happened. The reality is he was offered something, he was offered a fight, and he decided, and we got to call it what it is. He decided to take less money. Let's just be honest. He decided to take less money to fight lesser opposition because the money he was getting was guaranteed. Allegedly, because we don't know. We don't actually know. But that's just the situation. And the truth of the matter is, I don't give a shit about Terrence Crawford because nobody gives a shit about Terrence Crawford. And Terrence Crawford doesn't give a shit about you as a fan. He wants to make money and he wants to ride off into the sunset. Cool. Do that, retire, go fuck yourself. I don't care. I really don't care. And all you weirdo Terrence Crawford dudes, that's why whenever we start actually talking about Terrence Crawford's career, they can't even fucking name these people. Like when I named Ray Beltran, he doesn't know who the fuck Ray Beltran is. Ricky Burns, like Ricky Burns and all these fucking title defenses. Like, bro, like it's funny because if all the bullshit that they were saying even fucking mattered, they would give Errol Spence more respect. Because if we look at Errol Spence's title defenses and unification run versus everything Terrence Crawford has done, like you can name Errol Spence opponents. You can actually name them. People that Terrence Crawford fought, you can't name these motherfuckers, man. You can't name them. And then you want to talk about Mikey Garcia like Terrence Crawford didn't drag up Gamboa off the two weight classes in inactivity. But and then of course you got to remind them that Terrence Crawford himself is from 135. So if Spence is known for fighting lightweights, why the fuck is this one special? Like it's just like I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck that he's fighting this weekend. I'm not buying it. I don't give a shit. He's gonna wash Abanesian. He's gonna run his fucking mouth like the bitch he is, try to hype up and talk a bunch of shit that he's never gonna do. He's like that one bully that talks shit all year. He doesn't touch you, but he talks shit. And then when you finally make some time after class to come see his ass, all of a sudden that worthless motherfucker has homework. Oh, I got after school. I got detention. My mom said I got to be home. No, you're a bitch, and you never wanted to fight in your entire life. And I say that because I've known people like Terrence Crawford my entire fucking life. I've known people like him my entire. I've known people who thought they were bullies just like him. I got people in my family like him, and guess what? They're all a bunch of bitch-made dudes who would never do half the shit they say they're gonna do. Never.
Yeah.
He's a fucking coward, and I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about him. I don't care about his fucking money. I don't care about his priorities. Your job is to fight for fucking your job as a boxer is just to fight. Okay? We can make requests as fans, but at the end of the day, it's it comes down to you. He decided that the fans should go fuck themselves. Okay, cool. Great. You do the same. Goodbye. I again, I will never understand the passionate defense these dudes give him because they can't even recall half his fucking career. They can't even recall it. Like when dude was there, he talked about, oh, he hasn't even fight PBC fighters. Who are these PBC fighters? The niggas fought four of them. He didn't even know. So I'm just dumb. I don't know why the fuck y'all talking to these. I just don't understand why y'all keep talking to these worthless motherfuckers. Like I said, these dudes are clearly in love. They're clearly in love. They're infatuated with this dude, and they just want to be able to say that this guy is the best without him ever having to prove it. And like and then you got fighters like Jermell Charlo that are putting in an honest day's work. They get criticized. You got Devin Haney putting in an honest day's work. He gets criticized. I don't know, man. Maybe it's something they got against PBC, which isn't even a promotional outfit. But most people don't even know that. Most people don't even know that much, and they're on here talking shit. Talking about, Al Heyman's a promoter. No, he's not. How you gonna say Al Heyman's a promoter, but then accuse him of being a shady manager? Like, I just, I try to be nice. I really do try to be nice, especially to other black folks. But when you're a dumb fuck, I gotta call it what it is. Like, they don't understand that a manager in the entertainment business is someone that handles the task that you don't want to actually handle. Like, it's not. And again, these niggas in the labor force, they all work like forklift jobs. They all work at Walmart. They all work at McDonald's. So to them, a manager is only someone who's above you. They think a manager is someone that's like cracking the whip on you. They don't have any real business sophistication. They've never really done anything in life. So, aside from like wait tables and pump gas, so they think a manager is always someone that's in charge of you. No, a manager can be someone that also works for you, that does what you ask them to do. They manage your business affairs. You know, like I said a few shows ago, I was like, these motherfuckers would think Terrence Crawford is a badass for representing himself in court and not using an attorney. Oh, hell yeah, Terrence Crawford, he representing himself. Mm-hmm. Look at him. Yeah, he gonna fight the legal system on his own because he a boss. Like, these dudes don't understand what having money is like. They've never even been around people with money. Like, and you can fucking tell people with money don't do shit themselves. They don't like pay taxes directly themselves. They don't handle their own fucking appointments. They don't do anything. They have managers for every point of their life. Yeah, you can't tell these dudes shit. I don't know. They're in love with Terrence Crawford, I guess, or whatever. Fine, love the nigga. I don't give a fuck. like I said, you wanna fucking defend this guy to the end of the earth? Cool, do it. Defend his bullshit. His bullshit records, his bullshit accomplishments. That's why whenever they're talking about Spence, they talk about resumes because you can actually name the people Spence fights. Whenever they're talking about Crawford, they talk about fucking accomplishments and legacy because they don't know who the fuck he's fighting. I'm like, it's real easy to hold on to a title when you're not fighting anybody for it. It's real easy to unify divisions when you're not fighting anybody. It gets much harder to move around and get those accomplishments when you have tough fucking fights ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say with what you said. Like, I mean, like, I'm not like people that think, bosses and certain people in leadership, have like a certain, like, I guess, like, quota standard of like them, what to do. Like, I think at the end of the day, no matter what job you work, you still have to be the boss of like your own actions, and you have to take ownership of it. Like the company as a forklift operator, and I was just due to personal reasons. I moved on, but still, like, at the end of the day, it's not like I complain about anything that bothered me. It's just like, I'm not going to just blame other people's how should I say, like, other people's like authority to basically say that my life isn't good because of them, because it's you at the end of the day that determines if you're going to be, like, a bigger difference at the end of the day. And I actually have a good quote here by Lao Tzu, and he said, "A man born is gentle, gentle and weak. At death, he is hard and stiff. Green plants are tendered and filled with sap. At death, they are withered and dry. Therefore, the stiff and unbending is the disciple of death, and the gentle and yielding is the disciple of life." So, I just feel like I wanted to share that quote because I found it very interesting. But I think in relation to Terrence Crawford, I think that pretty much explains who he is as a person. Like he's not like the type of guy that wants to be responsible for his like for his own well being as a individual, and he tries to blame his failures onto other people that had nothing to do with it, and therefore he's basically
Exactly.
the
Exactly.
he's basically the like epitome of like a man that's not fully grown. He wants to
No,
not
he's not
have
a
any
man. He's a
agency.
bitch.
Like
No,
he's a
yeah,
very
he's not a man. He's a bitch, and people gotta
yeah
understand. Like when I say bitch, I don't mean like a bitch like misogynistic. I mean literally a female dog, like an animal. Because like
yeah
when people hear the word bitch that are insecure, they think that they get insecure because they think I'm talking about them. Like no, a bitch is somebody who just cannot take any accountability. And when you apply that word to humans, it can be any sex. It's fucking unisex. There are plenty of male bitches. Terrence Crawford is a male bitch. He cannot take accountability for his own fucking actions. He wants to disguise what he's doing as strength when it's actually weakness, and he's a fucking liar. He lies all the goddamn time. That's bitch behavior. Grown adults take responsibility for their mistakes. They understand their faults and they move forward with integrity and honesty. He is a bitch. Only the bitches in my life act like that. They don't take
yeah
accountability for themselves and they fucking lie all the time. That's why I treat them like bitches. He's a bitch. Okay? Like when I used to have dogs. I was raised with pit bulls my entire life. I had
I
one of
love
them was a
nipples.
female. Fortunately, she was under my leadership, so she wasn't bad. But whenever she did something bad, she would, do what bitches do, and fucking, and this something male dogs. And kind of like, oh, it's me, I'm a dog. I was like, no, I specifically told you not to do that. You did the shit anyway because you thought you could get away with it, but you fucked up and you knocked something over and you left evidence. That's bitch behavior. I can't fucking stand it. Can't stand it, especially when I see it manifest itself in fucking adults. It makes me sick to my goddamn stomach. And then when I have people actually defending it, trying to rationalize, did you hear that dude? How dumb he sound when he tried to rationalize some bitch behavior. I'm like, yeah, the reason why nothing you're saying is making sense is because you're full of shit. You're trying to stitch together multiple lies, and you sound like a fucking idiot. I'm like, this is like I remember one time I told this to somebody, like they were running their mouth and they were lying to me, and I was like, look, this is the part of the movie where we're in the police station and I turn the cameras off and I take a phone book to your ass. That means I get that means you lying to me so much. I get the fucking yellow pages and I beat the shit out of you until you start telling me the fucking truth. Cause boy oh boy, like, it just gets me because like if they told the truth about this dude, nothing about their lives would change. Like I don't understand why they're defending him like they're being compensated. Like nothing about your life is about to be different if you're just honest, saying that this one dude is a bitch. It's okay. It's okay. It's like that's what life is. Sometimes you get scared and you don't want to do things that you're supposed to do. That's fine. Just admit it, and then you're not a bitch. See, you're only a bitch if you lie. If you lie about the shit, you're a bitch. Like for example, Sean Porter admitted off the top he didn't want to fight Jerron Ennis. Sean Porter is, he kind of acts funny sometimes, but he would stand up in that moment. He would stand up. He admitted it. He was like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. That's
Yeah,
perfectly
he was a
fine.
man about it.
If you would have said, oh, I'll whoop his ass, and then proceeded not to fight him, no, now you're a bitch. That's the critical difference. That's the critical fucking difference. And I swear these bitch dudes, they get on my they get on my fucking nerves. This shit. Like I just and then the worst part is when we all stop talking about it, like when all the fucking podcasts and the shows are done and we stop talking about it, they keep rehashing it like they want us to believe. Like, oh, he didn't duck. Like, bro, it's over.
He didn't.
Okay?
He didn't duck Spence. No, no, man.
Not,
Aerosmith ducked Mud, man.
right. Like not only do I think that he will never
Menace.
sign the contract if they went back into negotiations, but if they have any intelligence over there, they won't go into negotiations with him ever again because he's a moron. All he's gonna do is get because like I said to the other guy, Terrence Crawford has never been more popular than he is right now. He has never been more popular than this. And he's going to use this to drive traffic to all his fights. Just like Ryan Garcia does with Tank, just like Tiafimo does with fucking Devin Haney and shit. just like
Yep.
just like Thurman is trying to do a fucking spence, just like Virgil's trying to do. Like
Just live off of other people's names.
yeah, all he's gonna do is talk and then proceed to fight some trash. That's it. That's all. And the thing is, he knows that. He knows he's never been more popular than right now. No one has ever cared about him unless it was tied to Spence's name. Why do you think? Why do you think even that dude that was sucking his dick so hard couldn't remember half the shit about his career that I talked about? Because he didn't watch him. Nobody watched him. Like that dude didn't even remember that the last time he fought in the UK was 2014. He didn't even remember that he fought in the UK because nobody does.
Yeah, like I was gonna talk about what the UK, about UK boxing. UK boxing is not better than American boxing, and I can easily, contest to that because I got a friend. Shout out to Mo Boxing, and he tells me British boxing is not watched a lot out there.
It's
They sell
not.
the
They
tickets
care about
very
soccer.
cheap, and British people do not care about boxing because boxing is not actually even premiered as one of their most heavily popular sports because soccer and I believe basketball and cricket are the most heavily watched sports for British sports.
Yeah,
So
soccer. Yeah, soccer and cricket. Yeah, soccer and cricket are more heavily watched than boxing. And the most
yeah,
important part is because the UK doesn't have that many talented fighters. They don't have that many fighters that can even compete on the world level. And again, that's what I'm saying. That dude was just sucking dick. That's why he's a bitch.
yeah,
Because he all and the thing is, whenever you ask him a question, all he did was say, "Well, Terrence Crawford said." Well, Terrence Crawford said.
it's a bit.
I'm like, bro. That's what I mean. I'm like, are you fucking him? Is that what it is? Are you two having sexual intercourse to the point where you feel like an emotional attachment? That motherfucker is a liar. He is a liar. He
Terrence
lies
Crawford, he's
all the
a slave
goddamn time.
master. Let's just admit it. He's a slave master.
Yeah, he's a fucking liar. And the thing is, that's why when I started talking numbers, when I started using analytics, when I started using actual intelligence, that dude was like, wait, what you getting all them numbers for? I'm like, yeah, dumb nigga. That's what people use to make points. They use empirical fucking evidence, numbers, statistics. This nigga wants to talk about money, but then don't want to talk about numbers. This is why niggas can't make progress. To be quite honest, it's niggas like this at the forefront running their mouths. And this is why we can't make any fucking progress as a people because of dumb fucks like that.
Hey man, I'm making like a progress.
No, I'm talking about us as a whole. I'm making progress as an individual, sure, but like as a whole, we got niggas like this that talk on fucking TV.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
but no, but as far as the actual numbers, no, like bro, Josh Taylor has the same accomplishments as Terrence Crawford, and even people in the UK don't care about Josh Taylor. But you want to talk about fucking British boxing is so goddamn strong. And then when I said, oh, well, when he said, well, Terrence Crawford is an employee, I'm like, yeah, they're employed by the same person. Josh Taylor fought in the UK. Bud was fighting British niggas in America. Why not fight the British niggas in the UK, where they're actually from, if there's so much money? Well, that's not what Bob wanted. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, so you're saying Bob and yes, I'm like, so you're saying that Bob intentionally took a pay cut? When has Bob ever done that?
Yeah, like I was also gonna add on top of that. Um, America sells more boxing fights every time when there's big cards compared to any other card worldwide. And case in point is with Chocolatito and Estrada, that fight still did more, just as much viewership compared to any other fight worldwide that's going on. Because if anything, more people were talking about Chocolatito and Estrada compared to Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora. So
Exactly. And Chocolatito,
yeah,
Chocolatito, for those who don't know, is a little little dark dude from his name is fucking Gonzalez. He's a little dark dude from Nicaragua. That motherfucker stopped fighting in Nicaragua and has never made more money than he's ever made in his life. His fucking ass came to the United States of America. He didn't go back to Nicaragua to fucking fight. That's why when Tyson Fury wanted to make the most money he'd ever made in his life, where did he come? Oh yeah, the United goddamn States. Okay? It's not me being nationalistic, that's me being realistic. These British motherfuckers. Yeah, these British motherfuckers, when they want to make bread, when they want to make a name, they come here. Tim Tszyu Costa Zoo, the Australians, they come here.
Yeah, I was also gonna respond like to what Let the Bud Dick Rider said. Like he was also saying like British fans are better than like American fans, but like obviously to me um it's not true at all because if you really think about it, minus from like all the political racism behind it, American boxing fans sell out a lot more at a fight than British boxing fans. And case in point to it is think about it with your favorite fighter. Like a lot of people show out for that fighter, and there's like a lot more viewership for that fighter every time that fighter fights. On a big card or just like a medium level card, like any card that has like a bigger platform, that's where those fighters get a lot of marketing and they get a lot of eyes on them. Like I'll even use Bruce Carrington, right? Bruce Carrington, he's a very very heavily notable fighter, on the come up, but his fan base in Brownsville, Brooklyn, they show out. They showed out in Jersey, they showed out in New York City.
But that's not what he meant. When he said that British fans are better than American fans, he didn't mean they spend money. He meant they'll support anything they can get because their fighter base is so fucking weak that they support mediocrity. That's what he meant. He was basically saying that British fans would get down on their knees and suck Bud's dick like I do for doing nothing because they love Bud. I'm like, yeah, British fans love mediocrity because they don't fucking have any fighters.
Yeah, because they're just mediocre fans. Like, they're
niggas,
not real fans.
Right. Them niggas have Tyson fucking Fury, and that's basically it. Without Tyson Fury, British boxing is fucking dead. British boxing has nobody. Tyson Fury is literally their only claim to any kind of fucking supremacy. That's it. Josh Taylor ain't shit. Nigel Benn ain't shit.
David Adelaide ain't shit.
David Adelaide ain't shit. Fucking
Nate Gorman or Nathaniel Gorman,
that
Fabio Wardley.
He's from fucking like Switzerland or he's German or some
Fabio
shit.
Wardley.
Fucking David Fisher ain't shit. Wardley ain't shit. All these niggas.
David Fisher, Ebony Bridges, Chantel Cameron.
These niggas ain't.
Sadly, Terry Harper.
These are some of the most marginal ass fighters ever, and the only reason why they're still eating solid food is because they haven't crossed the fucking pond yet and come over here to America and got some real fucking.
They ass beat on that damn pond.
Right, and that's not even to say that all the best American fighters are actually American. It just happens that we have the largest talent pool over here. There are some people that are legitimately from other places and live other places, but they fight in the United States. Those British dudes, those British people who have never fought outside of the UK, they're I'm sorry, they're fucking marginal, and they know that they're marginal. That's why they stay their bitch asses at home because they would get fucking smoke coming over here. They would get
I was also gonna say I was on I wasn't on a panel, but I was in the chat on this one YouTuber's page. Shout out to Mo Boxing, No Problems channel. But he had Steve Spark on, and Steve Spark was basically saying his opportunity was much bigger in America, and he wanted to go back after he got the win with Montana Love. But he says his main goal is to come back to the States has given him a lot more financial opportunity versus anywhere else. But I mean just by that principle and a core standard, people like Spark are the reason why they don't ever go back to go back and fight, because number one, the economic benefactor behind it does not benefit them, and two, they're not going to get any traction in their next fight for people to talk about them, and three, they do not have a good reputation back at home at all, because it's if people don't know you and they never cared about you, then that basically shows that you can't sell out a bar at your own local area. So I mean, to any fighter that's on the come up now, they look at as like America as their basically hollow bastion to basically go to the winter haven of wherever they can go, and once they make their mark, they make their mark. They just stay there.
Right. And
I'll
the
even
thing
use
is,
Edwin De Los Santos. I even looked at that one podcast he was on. Shout out to Anstel Podcast or Anstel Boxing Podcast. But basically, he was saying in Spanish, like he had it such a rough life coming from the Dominican Republic, and it was hard for him to get his career on track. And by the time when he got his first opportunity to fight in the States, that's when he was starting to make to make some good money. And I think when he talked about his big opportunity, the first go around Showtime with Billy Foster, he was ecstatic. He was like really happy to get that opportunity. But then once his big opportunity came with Jose Valenzuela, he said, now his doors are like wide open now. He's never going back. He's keeping all of his fights here domestically in the States. So
I mean, and the thing is too, like the only currently when it comes to the United Kingdom, the only fighters that I see that are internationally competitive are Tyson Fury, potentially Felix Cash, and Joe Cordina. These are British fighters that I watch. These are British fighters that I think could be internationally competitive. Number one, in order to get the biggest fights of their careers, they would have to come to the United States. Number two, that's when we actually determine if they're internationally competitive. If they're like, and they don't even have, and the thing is, they don't even have to win. Just make the fight difficult, and then I'll say, okay, yeah, you're internationally competitive. You made that a difficult fight. Like, for example, if Joe Cordina fought Shakur Stevenson and either beat him or put up a good fight, that would show that Joe Cordina is internationally competitive. If he went in here and got washed, like bullied or knocked out, it'd be like, take your punk ass home. It'd be like, take your punk ass home. Like, for example, Felix Cash is getting ready to fight Austin Williams, right? I'm assuming that fight's in the United States, but I could be wrong. But either way, Austin Williams is an American fighter. Austin Williams has fought better opposition than Felix Cash. Austin Williams, he stopped fucking Cordell Booker in the first fucking round. Now, I said what I said about that, but be that as it may, it's still fucking Cordell Booker, which is more talented than anybody fucking Felix Cash has ever seen. So if
Booker, he's good.
Yeah, so if Felix Cash get in here and he watched this nigga, oh shit, Felix Cash could fight something, But if he does, because let's be honest, Felix Cash almost got knocked out by a dude who not only can't punch, but somebody that we've never heard of, some random Russian dude.
Yeah, Magomed Kurbanov or
Exactly.
Madaev.
Exactly. He almost got knocked the fuck out by a dude who can't even punch, who we've never heard of. So let's keep it honest. So, but he won that fight. But if he comes back and he watches fucking Austin Williams or whatever, or he puts up a good fight and he doesn't even have to win, okay, cool, he's competitive. But we're never gonna know if you're staying over there fighting random fucking British dudes, and you can't even beat these dudes because these dudes are domestic level. They have limited amateur experience. They have limited international exposure, and they're not fighting for world titles. They're fighting for fucking like the fucking champion of like a zip code, like
Yeah,
like
but they're
random
fighting
ass,
for all those fucking
like regional titles,
people
and
like people
fucking Yorkshire belt. Like, who the fuck is this?
Yorkshire title. That the title, dude. Like, shut the hell up, man. Like honestly, like to me, what gets me pissed off is like when British people try to say boxing started, over there, it did not. Boxing's been around for like thousands of years, predating to I think ancient Egypt back in Africa. But the thing about it is when boxing started to innovate and modernize, which the UK remixed it or innovated it, boxing was still not popular even at that state. So a fast forward to now, the competition level in boxing has gotten much better in America, or it's always been better because America has been the backbone for keeping the sport great. But for the UK has never made the sport great because Britain has never had good fighters. Their fighters have always been marginal talent fighting weaker level opposition
Well,
for the
they've had
sake
good
of.
they've had good fighters. They've just been very few and far in between. Like very few British fighters in all of history have been internationally competitive. Like for example, Nigel Benn and Eubank Senior
Yeah,
were
yeah,
a
yeah,
couple of
yeah, yeah.
British
Like
fighters that
that's
were internationally competitive. But that's two niggas.
yeah,
That's two people. That's out of 100 years of history, only like 10 of you niggas have been competitive. And keep in mind, like Lennox Lewis, they can try to claim him. That nigga is from Jamaica. Like so
yeah.
like
He's
y'all
Jamaican and he's a Canadian, resident
yeah,
technically.
like Chocolatito is from Nicaragua. I said he fights in America. I never claimed him. Because America cannot claim Chocolatito. Chocolatito is Nicaraguan, so you
Yeah,
can't.
he's Nicaraguan.
Yeah, we can't say that Chocolatito is fucking American, despite the fact that he fights here. He fights here to make the most money. But I never claimed him, so the UK can't just go fucking lay claim to
Yeah,
Leonard
well,
Lewis because he
Nonito
fucking
Donaire,
lives
he's
there.
from the Philippines, but it's like he claims to be more like American than Filipino, like straight up.
Right, exactly. Like Triple G, like I
Yeah,
said, Triple G lives in California, but we can't claim that nigga. Same way we can't claim Canelo. Canelo lives in fucking San Diego, but he's Mexican. It is what it is. Like he's from Mexico.
yeah. Well, Saul Montana, he was from Mexico. He was like a black Mexican, but it's like
Right.
the only people that gave him credibility was like the people that actually liked him.
Exactly. But the point is, they leave where they're from and they come to the United States and they fight a bunch of different people. I talk my shit about Canelo because I think he's a ducking little prick, and he fucked up boxing politically. But he's fought all different styles of people. He fought people all over the planet, and he's shown he's internationally competitive. Very few people actually beat him. So he did what he had to do, and he proved himself. Whereas these other dudes that have never left the fucking whatever hole they come from, even what's that motherfucker's name? Anos Yo
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't.
Yobosinoli, Yerbo. Yeah, that dude. He fought Lennox Allen, who was an American, and he knocked him out. Okay, cool. That's fine.
Lennox Allen, I think he's Guyanese. I think he's from Guyana.
Oh, I thought the nigga was from New York. But but that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I just wanted to just to bring that up. Sorry.
okay, no problem. Yeah, so
Yeah,
he knocked him out. That's cool. He came to the United States and he was beaten into a fucking coma. That's unfortunate, but that's the reality of the situation. When you don't have that exposure, you're not used to fighting
that
different
that
styles.
David Morrell.
Right. It is what it is. Like look at Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua was in
Get that
fucking
exposure.
in the UK. They were gassing his ass up, sucking dick, talking about, oh my god, this is the guy, this is the guy. His first fight in the United States, he gets fucking exposed, and he's in the corner crying like a bitch because some dude that's completely out of shape whooped his ass. It's the reality of the situation. Am I gonna say AJ's not internationally competitive? No, I'm not gonna say that because the heavyweight division is pretty small right now. But I will say, came to the United States and he got his ass beat. Is what it is. Is what it is. And Andy Ruiz is American. I mean, I know he's Mexican, but that nigga was
Yeah, he tries to wave Mexican, but yeah, you're fucking like
yeah,
American, bro.
yeah, that nigga's from SoCal. So he ain't he's American. Like his birth certificate is from here.
So
So,
what's the whole deal with all these people calling SoCal and North Cal? Like, isn't California, all unified as like a one state?
oh well, I mean, yeah, it's just I'm just talking about the regions. Like Southern California is known for a certain kind of culture, and Northern California is known for another type of culture. That's all.
Oh, all right, yeah, because like I be hearing like some people have like some weird social disputes over that, but
Oh, I mean, there's like, I would say that there's certain cultural differences because, well, Southern California for the most part, most of its wealth, comes from television, movies, entertainment, and and it has a very close proximity to Mexico. And in Northern California, a lot of the wealth comes from industry, technology, finance,
yeah,
you know,
technology,
yeah, things of that
farming, and all
nature,
that.
and they're farther away from Mexico. So over time, probably since the 1960s and 70s, the cultures have been divided, but the social schisms, that's just the difference in upbringing. That's just the difference of experience. But slowly that gap is being closed. I mean,
Yeah,
when I first went to college, people Like I didn't know that people from Northern California or Southern California like have beef because I had never really spent a whole lot of time in Northern California or whatever. But it's not really a big deal. Like when I was in Northern California, no one was serious about that stupid shit. Like no one ever was like, "Oh, you're from LA? Well, let me tell you." Like, no, shut the fuck up and sit down somewhere. No one ever did that. So
Oh, really?
yeah, no, because like, what the fuck you gonna do? Like, no.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't aware that there's like a conflict, but I don't think that's the case anymore.
Yeah.
Really don't.
Yeah, like I gotta go to California one day. Like I just wanna, check out Hollywood and well, just check out like certain parts of it. But yeah, like I wanna go out to, all the historical spots out there.
Yeah, California's cool. At some point, I will, if my mother remains there, I will return at some point. But it's just cool getting away for a while. Gotta leave the nest. Gotta leave the nest. It's a good experience being away from like far away from your family where they're not like a drive away. It feels good to actually like be out doing adult shit.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, does it get hot like all year round?
In California,
Yeah.
yeah, especially in SoCal, yeah, it's fucking hot all the
Oh
time.
wow. Yeah, because like I was like
There's no
thinking like
legitimate winter.
yeah. So California has like no summer, well, no spring, no winter, right?
No, we definitely have a summer, that's for sure. The spring it just rains a little bit, but it's medium hot, and the winter is just like it hardly gets chilly to be honest. Like it might get a little nippy, but it's not like cold. It's not like winters over here where it's fucking snowing and shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's just like Florida weather, but it's like way worse.
nah, yeah, but I mean, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, it's progressively gotten worse because of some policy things and some social changes, but it's a cool state. And like I said, at
Yeah.
some point, I will return, but just not right now.
Yeah, let's talk about some other boxing shenanigans. Teofimo Lopez talked about Devin Haney, saying that Devin Haney was offered a opportunity to fight Tio and he turned it down, right, or something like that. Or
I didn't hear anything about this. All I heard was Tiafimo delusionally saying that Devin Haney only wants to fight him for a paycheck because he's the most valuable fight. Da, da, da. Tiafimo's never going to fight Devin Haney because he never wanted to fight Devin Haney because Devin Haney would make him look stupid. See, Tiafimo is another perfect example of a bitch. He runs his fucking mouth. He doesn't back up anything that he says, and then he
yeah,
fucking ends up losing. He ends up fucking losing, getting his ass beat. And what does he do? As opposed
Devin
to
Haney curse.
right, as opposed to taking the loss and going on about his play like a bitch, he cries and makes up a bunch of nonsense. He says, "Oh my god, I had asthma. Oh my god, I struggled with this. Oh my god." It's like, at what point is it just your fucking fault? At what point is it just you suck? Maybe you just suck. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's just you, bitch. Like maybe the world isn't doing all of this to you. You fucking weirdo schizophrenic bitch. Maybe it's just you. This motherfucker fucking got on TV and put on the oxygen tank and all this bullshit. And it's funny. I'm just like, okay, let's say this because people call me an asshole when I said this. I said, okay, for sure. Let's say this motherfucker has asthma. How come he got better as the fight went on? He got better in the later rounds. He started winning the later rounds. Where was the asthma? Because if shit, asthma is a respiratory, condition. So I'm thinking, how come he started getting better as the fight progressed? Wouldn't you logically get worse? And then people started saying, "Oh, you're not sensitive. You're an asshole." But I'm like, okay, I might be an asshole, but that motherfucker does not have asthma. Otherwise, it would have come up before now. So
Yeah, because I actually used to have asthma. When I used to be younger, and from what I know, when I was younger, I had to use an inhaler to keep myself breathing properly. And if Teofima had asthma, you should have an inhaler on you in case you're in the event of potentially dying. Because
If
In
Teofimo
boxing,
Lopez really had asthma, he wouldn't have chosen a high cardio, high risk sport like boxing.
yeah, that's what
He's
I'm
he's
saying.
a
Like he's
fucking
lying.
lying bitch. And I swear he, because that's the thing. He couldn't just say I lost. He couldn't just say I got my ass whooped and I lost. Because George Kambosos wasn't on steroids. George Kambosos didn't have a history of controversy. George Kambosos was a nobody. And what's worse is that he was a worse fighter and he was smaller, a lot smaller than Teofimo Lopez. And Teofimo Lopez still lost. And because he couldn't handle the embarrassment like a man, he had to be a bitch and cry. Oh, I had asthma. Oh, my pussy hurt. Oh. Like, no, you just got beat up. You just got beat up because you're not that fucking good.
Yeah,
Like, it's just like Lomachenko with the fucking shoulder bullshit. I'm like, bro, if your shoulder hurts so much, how come you got better as the fight progressed? Why did you improve in the later rounds? Like, make some sense. Like, I just like when people lie to me, I feel like my intelligence is being insulted. Because if you lie to me, if you look at me and you lie, you're basically telling me that you think that you're smarter than I am. That you think I'm dumb and you could just fucking lie to me. And it's like, no, bro. Like, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. Like, I take this shit offensively. It's insulting my intelligence, which is fucking bullshit.
yeah. I just think that when you lie about a medical condition that has killed people in recent past forms of like certain times of life, you should not be lying like about that. Number one, and number two, you should own up to your own failures because you're not gonna look any better as you get older. So I just think like Teofimo, he's a very weak individual. He's very stupid, in my honest opinion. I think anything that we say about him, he basically rehashes it and just say, "Oh well, y'all are hating on me, blah blah blah." But it's like, dude, like you're the one getting pissed off at people that talk basically factual about you, and you can't take ownership of your own career. And then on top of that, you like you have like more problems outside of your career where your own family is just messed up from the beginning, and it's like he's not doing anything successful. So I mean, to me, I just don't like Teofimo like as a person. Like I think he's way more dumber than Rolly. Honestly, it's just like but the only difference is just like Rolly, he's more of like a funny, but like less like how should I say like a less literal person to say what he says. But with Tio, he really believes in what he says, and he's actually crazy enough to actually believe it. And he'll be like the first one to probably say yes to something stupid if it was offered to him, like straight up. Like if somebody said, "Hey, he could be like a millionaire by jumping off of the cliff, and he could still live," he would do it, like hands down.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, my biggest issue is that these are dudes these are dudes that hold up entire divisions of fights. Like you saw when Teofimo had the belt, he was planning on playing keep away with Devin Haney for the rest of his fucking life. He wasn't planning on fighting him. He was planning on fighting mandatory after mandatory after mandatory to make sure he didn't fucking lose. And fortunately, the boxing god smiled upon us and he picked a fucking cherry bomb. He thought it was a cherry and it was a cherry bomb and it blew up in his fucking hand and blew his fingers off. But yeah, these dudes are bad for the sport because they hold up big fights, they hold up entire divisions, they create situations where we have to wait, for unifications to happen. Certain mandatories don't get fought. Like they're literally just in the fucking way. And I wouldn't have a problem with these people if they were doing anything else. But we're trying to get good fights made, and these people are gumming up the works because they're fucking selfish. And the worst part of this is the fights that you don't want to fight are the fights where you make the most money. People keep making this argument that he needs to fight for the most money. Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. Like when I quoted the numbers with that dude, Terrence Crawford would have cleared over $10 million with the Ugas numbers. That dude estimated that Terrence Crawford versus Spence would do double what Ugas did, which means Terrence Crawford would get double the fucking money. But in his dumbass worthless fucking brain, he couldn't multiply by 2. But he wants to talk to me about boxing. Like this is what I'm saying. This is why promoters and companies don't take fans seriously, because people like that are the most vocal. And like I said, you got like I said, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence are fucking holding up the welterweight division at this point. If y'all two niggas ain't unifying, then y'all gotta fight some people. Y'all gotta fight some people that we know, some people that are popular. Like fucking Terrence Crawford versus Jerron Mintz makes more money than Terrence Crawford versus Avanesyan. Okay, you know, and all of Errol Spence's mandatories are gonna be good. Like Stanionis, Boots, Virgil, all his mandatories are gonna be good. This motherfucker Terrence Crawford didn't even want to fight his Mando. He wants to fight fucking Avanesyan out of fucking nowhere. Some guy who already had a fucking fight. Like this is what I mean. Like him, Virgil, Munguia, like all these dudes just gotta go. They gotta go because we're gonna keep talking about these fights. We're never gonna fucking get them. Their weirdo fan bases are gonna keep defending them for whatever, so they have no incentive. If the only reason why Canelo versus Triple G1 even happened was because even Canelo's fans were calling him a bitch. They were like, "Bro, you gotta fight Triple G, dog. Come on, dog. You gotta fight this nigga, dog. He been talking shit. They're calling him a destroyer. You gotta fight this dude. You have to fight this dude." And that's the importance of fan representation. Because fans got more power than they think. When someone's fan base, no matter how big or small, gives them permission to not fight somebody, you better believe they're not gonna fight them. They're gonna be like, "Oh shit, my fans are cool with me not fighting them. Shit, fuck it, I'm not gonna fight them then." You know. So
Yeah, but
that's
compared to Gervonta Davis is now actually listening to his actual fan base.
well, yeah, because the reality of the situation is that unfortunately Tank's fan base is kind of like Terrence Crawford's fan base. They're not really concerned with who Tank's actually fighting. They just want Tank to make the most money. And see, that's bitch behavior. Because the only people that should be worrying about a professional fighter's money are the professional fighter and his fucking family. That's why I always have to ask. I'm like, are you currently having sexual intercourse with this particular fighter? Because unless you're in their life, like in some sort of relationship, why the fuck are you concerned with how much money they're making? Why the fuck do you care? Your priority should be getting the fight. Like that dude, if you notice, all he was talking about was, this is about getting the bag. He sounded like a fucking bitch. This is about getting the bag. Yes, girl, the bag. Secure the bag. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, bro, he's a fucking millionaire. He's a multi-fucking millionaire, and he would have made way more money fighting Errol Spence Jr. And you're over talking about some secure the bag shit. No, you don't want him to get fucking hurt. You don't want him to get beat the fuck up. Because it would hurt your fucking soul for whatever reason. He's a professional fighter. That shit happens. But again, it's the same with Tank. Yes, girl, secure the bag. Secure the bag. That's right, honey. Secure the bag. Like, what the fuck? These are millionaire athletes. How much more bag you want? In the fights that you don't want them to take, the most dangerous fights, guess what? Those are the biggest bags. Like Tank versus Devin Haney does more numbers than Tank versus fucking Ryan. I'm sorry. And the only reason why people even know who Ryan is because he's talking about Tank. That's it. And the thing is,
Yeah.
Ryan has allegedly, and I say allegedly with a strong fucking A, he's allegedly been this massive superstar, right? But then his last fight, like, he only sold like 12,000 tickets. His gate was like 1 million, right? Ryan Garcia, according to social media stats, is more popular than Tank Davis, right? Okay, cool. Why does he make more money in boxing than Ryan? Why does he have higher revenues for fights than Ryan? Ryan is more popular than Devin Haney, yet Devin Haney makes more money and sells more when it comes to boxing. These are the questions. These are the questions that I ask people, and not even professional boxing writers will respond to me, because you can't, because you're fucking lying. And
I wanted to
and I keep trying to tell these bitch dudes that a bunch of fucking teeny boppers and little 16-year-old bitches that think Ryan is hot are not gonna buy his fucking fights.
Yeah, like I also wanted to add on top of that, like a shout out to Jonathan Piedra in the chat. He said dude calls himself a. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I just need to pull up the comment. He said Duke calls himself a businessman, but recently said he wants to make the fight in the UK. Shaking my head, Crawford is not a businessman. But yeah, like I think either way, like you make like a really good point. Like it's not like honestly, like boxing is not financially coordinated properly with the fights that people want to see that should be viewed as like the A side being valued over the B side. And when it comes to Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, number one, we don't even have like a fight date yet. We don't know when that's gonna happen. But on top of that, with Ryan Garcia, he's really leveraging off of like the benefit to say, yeah, man, I'm not like afraid of Tank Davis, man. Tank Davis is gonna get knocked out. He's gonna get this. He's gonna get that. But it's like, Ryan, if you had all this confidence in the world to do it, why didn't you just do it with other fighters? And then you would have had more leverage in the game because now more pressure is on Ryan than it is on Tank. But I don't know if you're seeing this, but you get all these like weirdos, like females and men, like it's mostly male and female celebrities now thinking Ryan's gonna, obliterate Gervonta Davis in less than like 3 rounds or possibly four. And I'm like, in what world are you like predicting to think Tank is going to just get beat up by Ryan and get knocked out? Because
Well, that doesn't bother
honestly, like
that doesn't really bother me because that's elite boxing. So people making predictions and whatever, that's perfectly fine. What bothers me is when regular ass fans, regular ass fucking Chick-fil-A working that ass fans start talking about how much money a boxer's gonna get made to make the fight. Like for example, when people, yeah, like when people talk about Tank versus Devin Haney, if their first thought is who wins the fight or styles or whatever, that's cool. What bothers me is when these motherfuckers start saying, "Well, if we gonna make that fight happen, then Tank gonna need." Shut the fuck up about what Tank needs. You don't work there. You do not work for Tank. You don't work for fucking TNT Promotions or TGB or none of that shit. You're you. You're a fucking fan. Tank can worry about what Tank needs. Well, first off, Tank gonna need A side. He gonna need all this money. And like, yo, like again, they sound like one of Tank's fucking baby mamas. Well, my baby gonna need to secure the bag and blah, blah, blah. Like, shut your fucking mouth.
Everybody keeps bringing up the court case that Gervonta has to go through, and I'm like,
oh, I don't none of that shit fucking should matter to you. And whenever dudes do that,
let the fight could be in jeopardy, bro.
Yeah, whenever dudes do that, whenever fucking grown ass men start talking about secure the bag like on some fucking weird reality, fucking real bitches of Atlanta Housewives or some stupid shit. Whenever I hear that, I'm like, y'all don't want the fight. Y'all don't want the fucking fight. Y'all are scared shitless, and you want to make demands so stupid that the fight doesn't fucking happen because you don't want your guy to lose. That's all it is. You don't want your dude to lose because you have some weird fucking personal attachment. Like honestly, celebrity worship is a fucking mental illness. Like
it is.
Like don't get me wrong. Like some people are cool. So like I like certain people's movies or actors or boxers or whatever.
I like certain celebrities that are not.
But like I would
about the glitz and glamour.
Yeah, like, but I wouldn't let motherfuckers like disrespect me. Like I would like if I mess with these people in public, I wouldn't just be like, "Oh, you stepped on my foot. Oh, go ahead, because you're some like, hey, whoa, say excuse me." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these dudes are fucking getting down on their knees for these fucking people. But he needs to secure a bag first. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking like you're his wife or some shit? Talking like you're his fucking mom. Like what he needs. Like shut the fuck up. He's a grown ass millionaire athlete. Let us get the fucking fight. Like that's all you should be concerned about is the fight. Talking about the fucking money. Like ugh. Jesus. Like these dudes make me so fucking sick with that weak shit.
Yeah, plus like you're not gonna get paid. So
yeah, exactly. Like, you're not getting a dime. No matter how much money that person clears, you're not getting a fucking ounce of it. You're not getting a single fucking cent. So what do you care?
If you were getting paid, then yeah, you would say something.
Right, yeah. These dudes aren't a promoter. Again, these are niggas that work at Chick-fil-A, fucking number two with some cheese on it ass niggas.
Yeah, working at Best Buy.
Yeah, these are dudes who've never handled any sophisticated business in their fucking life talking about how much money somebody should be getting on a contract. Like, bro, shut up. You these are niggas that have never even had jobs that have to negotiate their own fucking salary. Like, shut up. You couldn't negotiate your way out of a fucking paper bag. Like, just be quiet. Again, that's why to me it's all seemed like some weird romantic shit. My baby needs to secure a bag first. We need to make sure my baby like look at how they talk. We nigga, we nigga, there is no we. You've never met this nigga in your whole life. Like, bro, do you notice that? Like, whenever you talk about a fight, the first thing these niggas say is we. Like, nigga, what you mean? Nigga, what you mean we? You ain't.
Like we
You ain't.
Bud fans, blah, blah.
Yeah, like you, yeah, like, bro, you're not involved with this nigga, bro. He's never even acknowledged you on the internet. They talking about, oh, we, like they a part of the fucking team. Like, oh my god, you niggas are weird. Niggas are so weird.
But then again, let's just talk about like, Crawford Ebenezer real quick. If this pay-per-view does fail, does that mean Crawford will lose all of his money?
Dude, I don't know shit about Crawford's money because Crawford is a liar. We don't know if he got paid at all. That dumb nigga on the last show said that the only source he has for Terrence Crawford getting paid is Terrence Crawford's fucking mouth. So I have no idea, and because I'm a fan, I don't give a shit. If BLK Prime wants to do bad business and give Terrence Crawford 10 million and not make any of it back, I don't care. That's their fucking mistake to make. That's why nobody else is doing that. That's why people assume that money's being laundered. And again, I don't care about money laundering. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if these dudes are mobsters. Give me the fucking fight. Bro. My issue with Kinahan is not that he's an international like murdering drug lord. Like, I don't care. My issue is that he's not giving me the fights that I want. Like, I really don't care. I don't care if he fucking okay. Like, one time he threw a kid out of a church window or some shit. I don't know. I don't give a shit because the reality is, me caring about what he does is not going to change him doing it. Like, yes, we all know he's an international drug lord that has had people murdered. Okay, what is that gonna? He's not gonna change because I feel a way about it. So I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't care if Pablo Escobar is putting on these fucking fights. Give me the fights, please.
Yeah.
That's because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What the fuck you gonna do? Boo-hoo? Boo-hoo, nigga. Drug lords exist. Okay? They're gonna exist anyway. So you want to talk about that moralistic bullshit? You're talking to the wrong person. Because reality is, I don't care. Get it how you live. Like, regular people do horrific shit every fucking day, and then people make mental health excuses. When some nigga makes a business out the shit, all of a sudden it becomes a moral issue. Like, no, get real. This is the world we fucking live in. And dudes had so much faith that Terrence Crawford signing with Kinahan was a fucking power move. Well, guess what? His company is now defunct, and he's running from the goddamn authorities. And that's what the fuck happens. You spent your entire life doing fuck shit, and now the authorities are after you. That's the gangster life. And if Kinahan winds up either broke or in a box, guess what? I'm not going to care either. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about you living. I don't care about you dying, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. Just give me the fights. Yeah. Shit. If I thought Kinahan could get us the fights, I would say, hey, that's a good move by Bud. But I knew he couldn't. I knew he couldn't give us.
Don't be saying that. Kinahan gonna send the homies after.
No, that's whatever, bro. Like, I knew Kinahan was gonna be occupied trying to stay the fuck out of prison or from in a box. So I knew he wasn't gonna put us the fights. Not to mention, he doesn't give a fuck about Terrence Crawford. He doesn't care about Terrence Crawford. Fury been clearing $30-40 million for bullshit fights. Dude, what fucking contract has Kinahan or Queensberry Promotions or any of those outfits given Terrence Crawford? He didn't offer him shit. He didn't offer him shit. So Terrence Crawford hasn't even benefited from that connection. And the only thing we can say is that allegedly he's getting this money. And like I said, get your money, but get the fuck out of boxing. Get away from me. I'm tired of you talking. I'm tired of you fucking holding up the division, wasting time. Go away. Go the fuck away. Like that's why I even said on Twitter, don't even get involved. Like Jermell Charlo, don't even get involved because he's gonna fuck up the schedule. Like even the last dude on the last show, even the last dude on the last show, he admitted PBC was waiting on Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence That's why all of a sudden they started dropping all these fights because they were building a fight. They were building all these fights around Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. They thought that fight was going to happen, but now it's not going to happen. So they're just dropping all the fights individually. So that's what I mean. He held up the entire winter schedule, and that's what I'm saying. These dudes need to get the fuck out of boxing. They're just holding shit up, fucking shit up. Just on some fucking, like I said, Real Housewives or whatever the fuck. They're turning this shit into a fucking reality TV show.
Yeah, the only thing yeah, did you have anything to say or sorry?
Oh no, I was done.
Yeah, the only thing I will say is if anything is broken out of the Canahan situation and Crawford and Fury and anybody else is connected is going to get busted. That's basically it. Like it's basically death row. Like everybody's going to get taken out because at this rate, if Crawford really thinks like that the money he's getting is clean, I don't think so. I think, in my honest opinion, if this weekend's fight comes out to be like a scandal, and let's just say like I don't know, let's just say Avenizzian, he really tries to come out and try to cheat Crawford, I won't be personally surprised because Avenizzian, he's been thinking like this fight is going to be like the fight where he's just going to go in here and he's just going to beat the crap out of Crawford. But if that is to be true, then I won't be, surprised that there's something fishy going on where there's some form of corruption behind it because Black Prime does not look like a promising network. I've seen them perform on different fights before, but that was mostly on Street Beefs, which is like a fighting YouTube channel that does not have professional fighting being held. It's just mostly backyard trailer park trash fights of just people that are not really real fighters to begin with. But the whole truth about the matter is like, why is Black Prime working now with a guy like Crawford when Crawford has never heard of this platform before? He never cared about it, but now it all of a sudden Black Prime is now getting his shine because it's right. They're now getting this big opportunity with Crawford, who's not a big star, by the way. If anything, if they really wanted to get into the business, they could have went after somebody a lot bigger than Crawford. They could have had fucking Manny Pacquiao on fucking Black Prime, or Floyd Mayweather.
No. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd would have never entertained some random ass company like Black Prime, especially if what we're saying about this is true. No, because Floyd and Pacquiao have made too much legitimate money dealing with Showtime. They've made far too much legitimate money on HBO and Showtime. They wouldn't even have an excuse to take a risk like that. Terrence Crawford is taking a risk because he's fucking thirsty. He's thirsty, and he sees all these dudes making all this money from marginal opposition. And again, it's like the last show we did on the last podcast we did when I was talking about the OnlyFans girls. They're like, look, I look better than that bitch, and she making all this money on OnlyFans. Why can't that be me? Why can't that be me? It's Terrence Crawford. He's the same guy. He's like, look, I see Canelo fighting fucking nobody, making all this money. I see fucking Ryan Garcia clearing all this bread. I see Tank making all this money fighting nobody. Why can't that be me? Why can't that be me? And he's fucking thirsty. Because that's what bitches do. They get thirsty,
Try to work lazier to to work smarter.
Right, exactly. And let me tell you what you just said. If all this money is dirty and Terrence Crawford is somehow involved and goes to prison for the rest of his life or some shit, I'm not going to care. I don't give a fuck. Your stupid ass had all the opportunity in the world to make a lot of money on a legitimate network and put on a legitimate fight, and your bum ass decided to go with the lazy ass short easy route guarantee, and you got fucked up. And that's how the cookie crumbles. That's what happens when niggas do illegal shit. You get popped. I don't give a fuck. Same as I don't give a fuck if you out here committing crime and getting your bread. I'm not gonna give a fuck when you get busted. Bro, no one's gonna fucking care. If I'm out here riding around getting money doing illegal shit, people are gonna talk. But if I get popped, no one's gonna care. No one's gonna care. So I don't care. I don't give a fuck about like I said, Terrence Crawford. This all goes tits up. He goes to prison. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna sing Kumbaya. I'm not gonna donate to his fucking legal defense fund. I'm not gonna give a fuck. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what you get for doing dumb shit. It's your fault.
Hey, um, like play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Precisely. Play stupid games, win stupid ass prizes. Couldn't have said it better myself. You out here, you fucking with criminals, and that's what happens when you fuck with criminals. Like me, when I finally get into a position where I'm in politics and I start doing fuck shit, that's the risk I'm taking. It is what it is. The risk.
Yeah. Um. Yes. Speaking of this upcoming fight cards. Uh. Yeah. Let's talk about the fight cards because we actually have like a pretty lit card. Um. I'll talk about Josh Warrington and Luis Alberto Lopez, but how do you see that main event going?
Which which main event? The Josh Warrington one?
Yeah, Josh Warrington versus Alberto Lopez
Yeah,
or Luis.
I see Alberto Lopez knocking him the fuck out, probably like 7 or 8. Because Josh Warrington, undoubtedly, because of his experience with shit. I'm blanking on dude's name that whooped his ass twice. Uh, Come on, help me out here. You know it's goddamn. Oh, Laura. Yeah, his.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with his experiences with Mauricio Lara, he's most likely made some adjustments. But Luis Alberto Lopez is a much more intelligent pressure fighter. And I think Alberto Lopez is going to work his jab. He's going to get in. He's a faster counter puncher. He's going to knock him out. Also, Josh Warrington is one of those fighters that tries to fight in the pocket like he has power and he really doesn't. So, yeah, he's going to get, I imagine that he's going to get knocked out around 7 or 8. I don't think he'll go the distance. Alberto Lopez is sharp. He's smart. He's like I say, his counter punch goes to the body very well. I think Josh Warrington's going to come in. He's going to try to pressure him and keep him on the back foot. He's going to start getting popped, and then Josh Warrington is going to eventually start backpedaling, and then Lopez just going to run him down, and he's going to beat the shit out of him. And I can't wait because I don't like Josh Warrington. I think Josh Warrington is a bitch, and I think he denied Mauricio Lara his second victory, crying about it because I think he headbutted himself out of the fight, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, like I got Lopez stopping him in 4 rounds, 4-3.
Damn, you think he's only gonna go for us first?
Yeah, because like Warrington, he doesn't move his head a lot, and if he lands those big power shots early, and he gets Warrington extremely hurt, then Lopez is gonna have a pretty easy night with him. But if Warrington, if he tries playing dirty and try to find like a way out to try to like headbutt him or try to cause like a massive cut on him, then I think Lopez he needs to like brutally hurt him before he tries to find a way to get a no decision or
Yeah,
something like that.
that's all he's gonna do. That's what he did to Mauricio Lara the second fight. He just headbutted his way out.
Just headbutt him. Yep.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. Like I said, he's a bitch. He doesn't want to take another L. That's what he's gonna do. Yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna do.
Oh
Like,
no, I'm the best fighter here in the UK. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
this man has 31 fucking wins and 8 knockouts. He has 31 wins and 8 knockouts. He overwhelms people by pure pressure. He just throws a lot of punches but can't punch for shit. Luis Alberto Lopez is gonna smoke him just like Mauricio Lara smoked him. And again, all these dudes he was fighting: Kid Galahad, Carl Frampton, Lee Selby, Patrick Hyland, marginal ass British niggas. That's exactly what I'm saying. But then he fought one tough, rugged Mexican from Mexico, and he got destroyed. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
They have the Mexican curse on British fighters.
Yeah, dude, Mexicans, they go over there and they destroy all those dudes. They destroy all of them. Like, and honestly, I feel like what's his name? What's his name? Mauricio Lara. Lara on his card that he got to himself, he was complaining that he was having money problems and he still lives in Mexico. I'm like, Hearn, you need to pay these fighters, bro. All these Mexican fighters that you're recruiting over here, these dudes, The Mexican fighters that Hearn has on his roster are better than his British fighters, and he doesn't want to pay them. That's bullshit.
Yo.
That's bullshit. You need to pay the Mexican fighters as much, if not more, as these British fighters, because these Mexican fighters will slaughter those British dudes. They'll destroy those British dudes.
Yo, I was about to say, there's this one British dude which, like, I used to be high on him, but I don't now. I don't know if you heard of him. His name is Hopi Price, but he's fighting on the card, and I think somebody had asked him in the past, asked him, "Hey Hopi, why don't you fight better competition?" And says that, like, he's comfortable where he's at now, and then, like, I'm just like looking at him like, dude, like, you are just such a marginalized fighter, bro. Like, you're 8-0, about to be 9-0. Well, potentially against some unknown Spaniard guy that he's fighting, but it's like, all the white UK fighters are like so pussified. It's like I don't think that they're even good. I think a good 95% of them are actually bad, but less than like 5% of them are actually good. And it's just like,
Well,
their level of matchmaking shows it.
with Hopi, I mean, I'm not going to judge Hopi Price yet because he only has 8 fights. But I will say that he has 3 knockouts. That's not promising as far as a fighter goes. But also he fights at fucking featherweight, so like
Yeah, he fights at 122, but I last saw him fight at like 135, if I'm not mistaken.
no, his last fight he weighed in at 125. So his last fight he fought at featherweight.
Yeah. Like, he's a really, really big person
He's a
to be
gigantic.
fighting at 122.
Yeah, that's such a weird combination. He's huge for the featherweight and he can't punch, which is hilarious. But no, like I'm not gonna say that he's marginal just yet because I mean he is undefeated and he hasn't really fought super great competition, and so he just hasn't had a chance to get his beak wet yet. But when he steps up some, then we'll be able to see because featherweight is looking good. Like you got shit, you got fucking Fulton moving up to featherweight, so you know you got Fulton, you got Figueroa, so it should be some good fights if they can actually get made. I wish Ray Vargas and Oshaki were at featherweight, but they're moving up to super
No,
featherweight
Shaq
right over that
lost.
vacant. So, you know, it is what it is. But we'll see. We'll see what he's got. I'm not gonna throw him away just yet, but we gotta see.
Yeah, look, I mean, I just don't really like the British fighters, when they get into this, like, easy fight stage, because all they do is just, like, keep fighting like the same bum over and over and over. But then it's like, once they get into like a real fight, against somebody that's not known, that beats them up real bad, it's like, they usually end up just getting smoked, and they never come back the same. So
I mean, that's they have to watch tape. They have to study. They have to use alternative training methods and different fighting styles. Like you notice that their standard British Queensberry boxing is pretty much all relatively the same. That's up to them to make the necessary modifications to adapt to different fighting styles. If you notice, Cuban fighters in the amateur systems, they fight everybody. Mexican amateurs in the amateur systems, they fight everybody. The Russians fight everybody. The Ukrainians fight everybody. The Americans fight everybody. British niggas only fight British niggas. That's on them. We're not like, bro. Her, fucking what the fuck? Who the fuck am I thinking of? Oh yeah, Richard Schaefer runs Probellum. Richard Schaefer has he has a good relationship with Al Heyman. Richard Schaefer could be feeding his entire Probellum stable he got over there having fights in England. He could be feeding all them niggas to the PBC dudes. He could be feeding all those
yeah.
dudes, but he's not. He's not. And number one, he's making sure that he can still profit off of British boxing. Number two, he's making sure it's stable because these dudes will get hurt. But he's also doing them a disservice because they're not getting any experience. They're not getting the experience that they need. Like the only pro bellum fighters that are internationally competitive is fucking Stan Jonas because he's fought in America and he's whooped a lot of ass and he's very dangerous. And fucking what's his name, Conwell.
Yeah.
Conwell, yeah, Conwell's pro bellum, and he's American. He's fought here. He's fought all types of different styles. He's dangerous. Like, he smoked that undefeated Ukrainian dude who people were saying was the next Triple G. So it's like, dude, you want to
Oh
keep him
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. Like I know who you're talking about, that Madiev guy.
Matyar Uchkaev or whatever. It's like, yeah, so you want to fucking have them over there in England fighting nobody and getting no experience? They're okay. You're just prolonging the inevitable. That's
Yeah,
all you're doing. You're prolonging the fucking inevitable, man.
yeah. Like I was gonna talk about Stanionis. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that him and Virgil Ortiz are set to fight next.
I saw an article that said December 12th, and I think that's bullshit.
December 12th.
Why? I heard that they were going into negotiations and like starting to get the contract going. December 12th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was thinking like if they were gonna fight on December 12th, like coming up, I'm like, really? No promotion? Yeah, I mean, if that fight happens, yeah, I got Stanionis beating the shit out of Virgil. It's
Hey,
over.
that's like not even close.
Yeah, Stanionis would just run right through him. Be too easy.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't mind Stanionis winning. I think that's a legitimate 50-55, but I'm not going to say that Stanionis just runs through him. Virgil is a very hard puncher. He's quick. He's accurate. He has a good long jab, goes to the body, which Stanionis doesn't actually like because Butai went to the body was pissing him off. But no, I mean, I haven't picked a winner for that fight because I really don't think it's gonna happen. Like Virgil Ortiz Jr. wouldn't even fight Avenue. I don't think he's gonna fight Stanley. What the fuck? Like it just doesn't make any sense. Because not to mention, Virgil Ortiz is the number one for the WBC and the WBO. Why would he then fight for a secondary title under the WBA? Like what the fuck? Like I know they're not over there thinking that if they do all of that, that Spence is gonna have to fight them because Spence can just move up and wait or fight Keith Thurman or not do shit. Like it doesn't matter. So yeah, I don't know what their plan is, but I don't think that Virgil Ortiz Jr. is gonna fight Stanionis. I think that's bullshit. If he does, that's great. And if he clears Stanionis, I'll take back everything I said about him. Because Stanionis is a real nigga. Like Stanionis can fucking fight, bro. Like Stanionis would like real talk. Stanionis would have knocked Ugas the fuck out. Like no bullshit. Stanionis would have destroyed Ugas. It would have been horrible.
Yeah,
So
Stanionis would kill his ass.
yeah, that's why Ugas was scared shitless when he thought he was going to have to fight Stanionis because he wouldn't have made as much money and he would have got beat
Oh,
up.
I don't want to fight Stanionis. Man,
Yeah,
shut up.
yeah, no, Stanionis would have whooped his ass, bro.
No, he
And
would
then
have died like Jax getting killed by Cyrax in Mortal Kombat.
no, I don't think Stannis would have killed him because Stannis struggled with Delorme, but you know he had that hand thing. But no, yeah, Stannis would have whooped on Ugas' ass, and Ugas knows that. So you know, but yeah, no, it's a good fight. I don't think it happens because I don't think Virgil would fight him. But you know, if it does happen, great. That's a legitimate 50-50. And as far as who I think wins, to be
Yeah.
quite to be quite honest, I I think I probably give it to Stanionis by decision though. Maybe late stoppage if Virgil tries to like do that weird shit where he gets hit and he presses the action on some like Kamehameha type shit and then he gets himself knocked out. But I think that's a decision for Stanionis. I think Stanionis is more disciplined. I think he's more emotionally mature, and I think he has the more accurate jab.
Yeah, I just see Stanionis breaking Virgil because Virgil has no head movement, and if he keeps getting hit without the same punch over and over, especially from a guy like Stanionis, because his punches are not just soft punches. Like those are like actual destructive punches, like very similar to Errol Spence in a way, but the only difference is like he's not fundamentally fluid like Spence. So he has like a very good Soviet style, bruiser type of, fighting style, which is very, very successful. So I just think as far as the, level of who's going to come out more aggressive, um, yeah, I think Stanionis, he's going to break Virgil more than Virgil will break him because, when you look at the size differential, um, Stanionis, he's a monster. Like, dude, he's built like a super soldier. And Virgil, like, people try to say Virgil, he's big, but I don't see him to be that big. He honestly, he really tries to pack in all that muscle to try to act like he's huge for 147, but he's not a big 47 pounder. I think Virgil, he pretends that he is big, like, for the division, but mark my words, once Virgil gets in there with like a really really big, welterweight fighter, I think Virgil's just gonna break down, like a sack of potatoes.
So, well, I will say that Virgil is. I will disagree. I'll say that Virgil is a big welterweight simply because of the fact that he missed weight 3 times and had to be hospitalized because of weight issues.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah, 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 yeah,
so
that's true.
yeah. So I'll disagree with that. Now, is he as big or as chiseled as Stanionis? No, not at all. Stanionis is built like a tank. But for mostly,
Yeah.
when it comes to these type things, I think it comes down to me the intangibles. So when Virgil was like got punished, like when he was getting hurt, he reacted like a he kind of freaked out. He kind of carried back some. He was holding. He fell. He hit the floor. He got dropped. He didn't handle it. When Butayev was tearing off of Stanionis' ass, he kept his guard up, got back on his jab, was very emotionally mature, and he responded with careful, contained, accurate pressure. That's the difference. So it's the intangibles. It's the emotional maturity, and not to mention, like people think that Virgil Ortiz can handle this nigga because he fought Green Beans. Look, Green Beans coming off a knockout loss, and Green Beans didn't jab as often and didn't have a jab as accurate as Stanionis. Like, and two, Stanionis is not going to sit there and just eat Virgil's jab. He's going to block and parry some shit. He's not going to make himself an easy target. So yeah, and also I think Virgil is softer to the body than Stanionis. So Stanionis gonna work in that body. He gonna work and back you the fuck up. So, and again, everything I'm saying, this is another reason why I don't think that this fight happens. That's dangerous as fucking Virgil. It's incredibly dangerous. Shit, fighting Stanionis honestly is more dangerous than Virgil than fighting Terrence Crawford. And I think Terrence Crawford knocks fucking Virgil the fuck out. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see Virgil ever winning like a title unless it's for like a weak ass vacant title that is like handpicked by some like opponent that never even deserved to be ranked next to him. But other than that, like him and Boots is just absolute destruction. I think Duran runs right through him, and then
Yeah,
Daniels.
I can see him winning a belt. It just depends. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not discounting him. He could like he's not easily, but he could beat these people. Like he could beat Stanionis. He could beat Bud. He could beat whatever, whatever. But it's just I don't think that I don't think that, and I don't think that like his team thinks that. Like I wouldn't pick him to win these fucking fights. Like and yeah, as far as John Dennis, I don't think he could beat John Dennis. I don't think that happens at all. Like it doesn't matter how much experience he has. John Dennis is just weird. John Dennis is one of those fighters that don't make no sense. He doesn't make any physical or athletic sense. He's just a psychopath. So yeah, I think John Dennis will knock Bud the fuck out. I think John Dennis will knock Virgil the fuck out. Shit, I don't know. Like he might even knock Spence out. Who knows? But yeah, that's just the reality. Like I said, there's no point because I don't think these fights get fucking made. I don't think fucking Virgil's gonna fight Stanhouse.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
I don't.
Speaking of, yeah, like I was gonna say, speaking of Boots, he's fighting for the IBF interim title. So does that mean that he will now be the mandatory after he gets this win? Come January 7th for the belt.
I mean, like, so the IBF is weird. Like they say, you're not the mandatory until you're mandated. So if when he beats this asshole and he's the number one and gets the stupid belt, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean anything. The fight has to be mandated. So it's just more fuckery. Honestly it's just more fuckery to buy time so Spence can figure his shit out because it doesn't mean shit. Like you having the interim title doesn't mean anything until you're mandated, and then there's a time limit set on the person. So that whole he's the mandatory, he's been the mandatory. Just like Virgil Ortiz Jr. has been the mandatory for the WBC and the WBO, but apparently he's not being mandated. No one's fucking petitioning him. He's not petitioning, so it doesn't fucking matter. Like, and Jerron Ennis and his family have sent in 2 petitions to the IBF to be the mentor of Errol Spence Jr., and they've received nothing back. So it clearly doesn't matter. It clearly doesn't
Yeah, because like you got these idiots trying to say like Jerron Ennis, he ain't gonna get like a title shot till he's like damn near 50, and 0. And I'm like, Jerron Ennis is not that far away from getting a title, but you know, like contrary to popular belief, like if he is getting screwed over, wouldn't that make his name a lot better than all the other top guys that don't want to fight him? Because Boots, he's in the same position that EJ's in, but the difference is like he's having to wait a lot longer than EJ because EJ he got his first title opportunity when he was like what, like 26, at least borderline 27. Actually, no, it was 26 years old, if I'm not mistaken. When he
matter.
fought Kell Brook, he
Some
came
shit
into the
like that. Some shit like that. But the point is that Jerron Ennis is in the exact same place Errol Spence was before he got a title shot. The difference was when Errol Spence was the IBF Mando, Kell Brook gave him a fucking shot. So people talk all this shit about who Boots fought and who this and who that. I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter. He fought his way to being the number one contender for the IBF, same as Jerron Ennis. It didn't matter about the fucking resume. And if Kell Brook hadn't have fucking fought him, then like none of we wouldn't even be talking about this shit right now. So like y'all talk about Errol Spence, John is in the exact same place Errol Spence was, and Errol Spence is now in Kell Brook's position. He's not unifying shit. They haven't talked anything about Keith Thurman, so we don't know what the fuck is going on. So I like it is what it is. Shit, Spence like, but the thing is though, Spence is one of those fighters where he's fought so much and been through so much. He's given us fights that we all want to see. So I'm not gonna hold him too much. Like if anyone has deserves a tune up or easy fight or like some rest, it's Errol Spence Jr. Like so if he doesn't want to fight Boots, I get it. I prefer he fight Boots. I really would. I wish he would, but if he doesn't, I'm not gonna like be like, oh, you're a bitch, you're ducking, you're this, you're that. I'm be like, oh, it is what it is.
yeah, I just think honestly, like when it comes to Boots, we're already gonna see him as like a world championship level fighter. But it's just like, when is he gonna get the shot, and when, how much longer will it take him to achieve his undisputed goals? Because remind you, Gerard Ennis, he says he wants to become like a 3 division or potentially 4 division undisputed world champion. So I think like like the best thing for him is like, I mean, I don't want to try to think fast into the future, but if I'm Boots, if nobody's fighting me at 47 and you can't get a shot at all, would it be better to just move up to 54 and just get the belts up there? But the problem is like you're gonna have way tougher competition. You're gonna have EJ being there, and then you have all the other guys that are battling, it out, like Lubin, Pandora, Tony, all those guys, Jared Hurd, Luis Arias, like I just think like that the gauntlet is just going to keep getting a lot bigger and bigger because the divisions are going to just slowly change. There's going to be like a wave of good talent in like the next coming years, and then after that wave of talent is gone, then the divisions will start getting stronger and weaker. And I think like with Jerron Ennis's caliber, like it's probably better than safe than sorry to try to just, you know, try to get the opportunity at 47 than risking it at 154 because now he would have to go through a much tougher list of opponents. And then he's having to put a lot more stress on his body to be fighting, a lot more bigger guys when he hasn't even got his first shot yet.
Well, the primary reason why I don't agree with that specific situation is because that's what everyone told Devin Haney to do. People told Devin Haney to just drop the WBC belt and then move up in weight and go to 140 with no belt, and then you'll get more fights. That's stupid for a lot of fucking reasons. But he ended up getting undisputed at 135. If he had listened to those people, he'd be a dude without a belt right now instead of the lightweight king. So that's number one. Number two, all the fighters you just named have a lot of miles on them. They have a lot of miles. Some of them have been knocked out multiple times. And the 154 division is the guard is basically changing. All the major names up there we know are, unfortunately, a lot of them are washed. They have a lot of battle damage. They've been in a few wars. And the young guns are coming up. And the reality of the situation is that 154 is a weaker division than fucking welterweight. And Boots will honestly have a better time at 154 than he would at welterweight. There ain't no Spence and Crawford fucking up there. The only person that gives Boots trouble to me is like Conwell, Charlo, and like I don't know, fucking what the fuck is that Kazakhstani dude's fucking name?
Oh yeah.
Dreamov.
Yeah, Israel Madrimov.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
Israel
him.
Madrimov.
Yeah, outside of those three, I think Boots washes everybody else. I'm sorry, like Tony Harrison, smoked. Lubin, smoked. Fucking Fundora, smoked. Joey Spencer, smoked. Jesus Ramos, smoked. But I think he cooks all these dudes. So outside of those three, it's really whatever. And if I'm Jamel Charlo, I'm not fighting that nigga. Oh shit, fuck that. I'm not fighting him. Shit, like you gotta deal with Tim Zoo and Fundora. Like, no, I'm not doing that bullshit. If I'm Jamel Charlo, I'm fucking clearing Tim Zoo's bitch ass, and I'm heading up to 160 to clear those dudes because Jamel Charlo will smoke everybody at 160 because 160 is trash right now. So he'll run them the fuck over. But yeah, no, if Duran and came to 154, I wouldn't fight no damn Duran It's fucking insane. Especially I'm the undisputed champion of the world. Fuck that. I'm not about to fucking let Duran beat on my ass. No, crazy. I'm not saying Duran guaranteed takes Jamel Charlo, but it's a decent possibility he fucking lose.
Yeah. But it's just like back to what I was, originally saying. Like you're gonna start, applying more damage to the miles that you have left, being young, and then by the time when you hit like the 30 club, it's just like, shouldn't you just be going, for like the bigger bag now? Because it's like at that stage, like you're just gonna be looking at it like, look, like I'm not trying to predict like the future for Jerron Ennis, but he's gonna come to like a point of his career to be like, look, I'm already at damn near like 45 fights, 50 fights, and if my resume ain't gonna get any better, and I'm fighting like a good tough fight here that people are gonna remember, and then all the other fights are fights where people don't want to fight me, and I still have to keep proving to the world that I have to knock people out and keep beating them to death. It's like, shouldn't you just give it up at that point? Because it's like, if you're just gonna have, less and less tougher, competition come to you, then, like it's not worth, putting a lot of stress on your body no more.
Yeah. Him and his father said that they're not putting a lot of stress on his body to make weight because he constantly stays in the gym, stays in fight shape. I don't know how true or untrue that is, but I personally don't recommend he move up to 154 right now because Spencer and Crawford aren't fighting, and Spencer's at the most got one more fight at welterweight before the belts all become vacant. So he doesn't want to lose a guaranteed, position like that. Because the thing is, too, if he goes up to 154, he's basically back where he started, because he has to fight more fights to get to a belt, and it's not likely that that he's going to be able to access a vacancy that quick because he has no championship credentials at welterweight. So he's going to have to fight like fucking 5 people to work his way up the rankings. So no, I don't think he should move to 154 just yet. I think he should wait, let Spence fucking finish up, or try to fight Virgil, try to get these dudes in there, and then clear one of them to get a belt, and then he could tie up the division, with the quickness. But we'll see. And then shit, maybe shit. If he can petition the WBO, he should. But you've seen Crawford. Crawford doesn't want to fight anyone. it's clear. So dudes keep talking about these sanctioning bodies. I'm like, bro, these sanctioning bodies are giving out suggestions. Like, unless they're talking about stripping people, like, it's like a mandate doesn't mean shit. Like, Triple G was mandated to fight Jamal Charlo. The shit didn't happen. So, like, but no, I don't think he should go to 154 just yet.
Yeah. Like I think honestly, man, like I hope Boots can achieve undisputed at least in like 2 to 3 divisions, but I like I say like once you're able to just cash out big money fights and not worry about belts, then I'd rather just do that. Just fight the names that people are going to recognize you for, and then cash out, and then you know just basically leave. It's like you'll be accredited with more respect versus just going for like a belt. Because I think like the biggest issue is like all the dumb retarded casuals are now looking at belts to say that belts matter, but it's like you just recently said like earlier, I think it was on Artman Space, saying that you know like anybody could get like a world title, but it's like if you're like getting that world title and you're not using that status to fight the toughest opposition, then that doesn't make you like a good fighter at all.
Yeah,
Because
but
like
these same dudes that swear belts make you good, how come they don't give any respect to Wilder for beating Bermain Stiverne? Like
yeah,
these same dudes will swear that belts make automatically make you good, but then they'll say Bermain Stiverne and Charles Martin were nobodies. So it's like
yeah,
again, when these motherfuckers get to lying and shit, I'm like, nah, dude, this is bitch behavior. Go on and shut the fuck up and stop talking to me, dude. Fuck up, you're lying. You're lying. He's like, oh yeah, he has a belt, so he's automatically good. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Ain't nobody trying to hear that weak shit.
yeah. Um, yeah. Like I was gonna talk about the Teofimo card. Are you look forward for that undercard?
Yeah, the TFM undercard actually looks pretty stacked. I like what I'm seeing. Let me pull it up on the box here.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean, I like the. Not only do I like the fights, but I actually like some of the opposition. To be quite honest, like Burgos, I like the Burgos opposition. And keep in mind, Burgos is someone that fought on PBC. So again, these motherfuckers keep talking all this shit. All PBC fighters never come out to play. Burgos fought on PBC. You know, shit. And Burgos also fought Devin Haney, so he might have fought. Yeah. Um. Yeah. No. Tiger Johnson versus Michael Han. That dude is 16-1. That's a good ass fight. Fucking Jahai Tucker is fighting a dude that's 14-2. Joseph Ward. So these are some good ass fights to be honest. I mean, look at Keyshawn. This nigga got 6 losses. Made no sense. But yeah, and then you got Jared Anderson fighting Jerry Force. I don't think that's a step up. I think that's a lateral step because Jerry Force is Jerry Force. But we'll see how it handles. And
yeah,
see if you fucking Sam Martin. So it's a good card. It's a good spot.
yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Xander Zayas back. Some people were trying to say that this opponent. That, oh wait, what?
I said, oh shit, Xander Elias is fighting. I missed him. Damn. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
fighting.
he's fighting that Mexican dude, Alexis Salazar. He's that
Okay.
Mexican dude that got blown out by Carlos Adames on the Tank Davis
Okay.
Barrios, undercard.
Okay. That's not a terrible fight.
Yeah, but I think Salazar he might have a chance to beat Xander. I don't know. Like I have like a hard feeling to believe that.
I mean, outside of a puncher's chance, no, I think Xander is. I think Xander's polished enough to probably take him. But yeah, I think this is a slight step up from the Carpenties of the world. But you know, I mean, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. I think Xander could take him off. I don't think Xander's particularly special. But but yeah, no. Like I said, I like these are legitimate step ups. Now I think that Aram is trying to see what he really has here as far as these prospects. Like, what are these dudes actually worth? Like, can they actually survive or what? So if they get in here and they clear these motherfuckers, then it should be a good, you know, should be a good situation. If they look bad or they start struggling, then you know we'll have a better indication of where they're at. But yeah, no, I like these fights. I definitely do. I definitely like them, and especially dudes like Tiger Johnson and Jahai Tucker. Yeah, they need some fucking seasoning. I'm trying to see what they're trying to do because people are hyping them up. Like Tiger Johnson fights at welterweight. I think Stanionis should probably knock Tiger Johnson the fuck out, but you know we gotta see.
Yeah, Tiger Johnson, I love him a lot, man, but he got a lot of growing to do. He's not evolved from being, with the little lion cub to being like a real lion. And I mean, I understand he got the nickname Tiger, but you got to go through the evolutionary phase of being a tiger.
Yeah,
But yeah, this is actually a pretty lit card because you got Bruce Carrington against Juan Tapia, and then you got Joe Ward. He's that white Irish dude. He fights at 175. He's a pretty good ass fighter. His only loss came to Delgado, that Hispanic guy that beat him.
oh yeah, that nigga did lose, huh? Yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah, Joe Delgado, or yeah, Marco Delgado.
Hmm. Yeah.
That was a fight that should have been ruled as like a no contest because he broke his leg during the fight. But
Oh right, he was fighting on his own. Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, that was back that was back on the Golovkin Dervyachenko card at the Garden.
Right. Yes,
Yeah, yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, he'll be on the card, and then we got obviously Keyshawn Davis facing against Juan Carlos Burgos, which I don't know. I think Burgos, he might, he might have a good chance of stopping him because Burgos, he could hit. He got power, man.
yeah, Burgos is strong. He's fast. He's he's intelligent. He applies a lot of pressure. But honestly, as much as I talk about Keyshawn, I think he's got what it takes to clear Burgos. I think he's defensively responsible. I think he has a faster jab. I think he goes to the body effectively. So I think Keyshawn could. Oh, it's 8 rounds. You know, I don't know. This might go the distance to be quite honest, but I think Keyshawn beats him.
Yeah. But the whole thing I'm trying to figure out is is he trying to prove a point to Devin Haney that he's fighting Burgos, like a lot earlier in his career because like Burgos, he has he has well over 50 plus fights or 40 plus fights, but
Yeah, he got over 40. Yeah, he got over 45. So it doesn't matter. Devin Haney had cut his age. So there's no, I think, yeah, I think he only had one decision loss before he fought Haney. This dude has been through hell now.
yeah, he hasn't lost to that many people. He's
Yeah,
only lost to six, he's only lost to six fighters, and they've all been by decision.
yeah, he only had he only had
Mikey Garcia, Devin Haney, Hector Tanajara, Xavier Martinez, Starlin Castillo, and then
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So Keyshawn knocks him out. I mean, that's good. That'll certify Keyshawn's power. But again, this is a dude who's been cleanly outboxed by other people and has been in a lot of fucking wars. So you stopping him now, not to mention he's fucking 34 going on 35. Like, come on, yeah, of course he gets stopped now. He's out of his
Yeah,
prime.
he's an old man. Like,
I'm not gonna say he's an old man, but he's just out of his prime. So like, it's harder to stop younger fighters.
yeah, I mean,
That's just like when
I'm not.
that's just like when that dude was talking about, oh, he's aging Crawford out. I'm like, oh, okay, so now you think that he's 35, so he'll get his ass whooped. Well, okay.
Yeah, I just don't really think, this is really like a good fight to really prove that, you're made for like the world title level. Because, what Keyshawn is basically saying to you is like, I'm just going to prove that I'm going to be like an old, washed up guy who's not going to be playing no games. But it's like, even if you do beat him a lot better than Devin Haney or all of his other contemporaries, it's like that doesn't make you better than everybody else in your division.
I mean, the only reason he does and says the things that he does is because people say it for him. Again, dumbass fans. They come out, they suck dick. He said, "Oh my God, Keyshawn could do all this, do all that." This motherfucker has 6 fights. And keep in mind, the only reason why he's famous is because some Cuban nigga whooped his ass in the amateurs. So it's like, again, and also another thing we gotta understand is that people are only certifying Keyshawn because he's close to Terrence Crawford. Anybody that takes a picture with this nigga, they think it's automatically good. And again, it's weird. It's weird. It's fucking creepy. It's celebrity worship, and it's borderline homoerotic at this point. So I don't know. Like I said, these motherfuckers, you got to show me. I'm not just gonna be out here talking about, oh, somebody's good because they had a good showing. Like, for example, people think that Caleb Plant is going to beat up Benavidez. Like, they really in their hearts believe that dumb shit because he knocked out Darrell. Oh, see, look, Caleb Plant got power. I'm like, bro, Darrell wasn't taking him serious. He wasn't taking him seriously. He left his fucking chin in the air and he got popped by a professional fighter. You can get knocked out. David Benavidez is going to run Caleb Plant the fuck over. And people keep telling me, oh, well who's Benavidez fought? I'm like, dude, they both have the same best win. They both knocked out Darrell. The fuck? Like, I don't know. Like
Man, I
recently.
believe Caleb's gonna beat him, but I don't talk like that.
Yeah, that's a fine opinion. You can have it, but people are just blinded by recency bias. Like they keep saying, "Oh, Caleb Plant gonna do it." I'm like, oh my goodness, like he got like there's just nothing I can see that he physically does that's going to stop Benavidez. Benavidez throws more punches. Benavidez hits harder. Benavidez is more difficult to hit. Like it's just so many other things. You know, like I said,
Yeah.
these dudes, they geeked up this kid, and now he thinks he's the second coming of Terrence Crawford, as if Terrence Crawford was anything special. And so yeah, so he's gonna do what Terrence Crawford does. He's gonna talk a bunch of shit about a bunch of fights he doesn't plan to get made. He doesn't plan. Like look at Shakur. Shakur is on Top Rank. What did this nigga do? He sends a contract to a motherfucker at the zone. What? What? Like, bro, he's already moving stuff.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, did you see that whole thing between him and Devin Haney and Bill Haney? I was laughing my ass off. I'm
No,
like,
I haven't watched the interviews because I no longer really have time for that with my new work situation. But I don't really give a shit because like the thing is like all the sparring. I'm like y'all can just upload that to YouTube and let us be the judge, but they're not. They're gonna talk shit, build their fight or whatever. And honestly, I don't think Shakur actually wants to fight Tank. I think Tank will beat the shit out of him. But I mean, we don't know if Shakur gonna fight Devin either. Devin going to 140. Shakur gonna swear up and down Devin Haney ducked him, and he's gonna hang out at 135, beating up fucking whoever. And then maybe we'll get the fights, maybe we won't. But I'm not holding my breath.
yeah, man, I don't know, man. I think final case in point is, if Shakur ain't fighting anybody good, and he's fighting a bunch of like low level bums, then I'm not gonna consider him good anymore. But Yeah, hopefully he proves me wrong. But yeah. Speaking of which, like, one more thing I was gonna say before I wrap things up, like, I think a good fight for him at 135 should be like Raymond Murataya, and I think that's a good perfect fight right now because like that'll just get his feet wet. But don't be surprised if Raymond actually hurts Shakur and actually gives him a tough fight because Raymond, he's a very very tough dude. Like he's really really good.
I said the same shit. I said that Raymond Murataya is a very good fight. He's basically the William Zepeda of Top Rank, if we're being honest with ourselves. They fight very similar. I think Raymond Murataya is more accurate, more defensively responsible, and that's a tough ass fight. But you know why he hasn't mentioned Raymond Murataya, because that is a tough ass fight for your first fight at 135. So it's like you see it, bro. Like the moment, like the moment I heard he like picked William Zepeda out of bumfuck nowhere, it's like, oh my god. And then the thing is, the only reason why he did that was because Devin Haney whooped on JoJo Diaz's ass, and so does Zepeda. So he's like, shit, if I beat Zepeda, it's like, bro, it's like just sit your ass down somewhere, bro. Okay, and then all honestly, all I want from Shakur is to chill your ass at 135 and fight whoever. But let me say this. When Tank gets finished knocking out both these niggas named Garcia, when the paperwork comes down, I don't want to hear shit from you, but I took the fight. I just want you to sign the paperwork and start camp. When Tank sends you that contract, you shut your fucking mouth, you sign the paperwork, and you start camp. I don't want to hear shit about, oh, Bob Arum this and Top Rank that, or the money and this. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all duck sauce. That's duck sauce.
Yeah.
Bunch of fucking cap. I ain't trying to hear that.
Shakur Stevenson, he better watch this. Yeah, but yeah, hopefully that fight happens. I wanna see Tank and Shakur so bad. That's like him and Devin Haney, but just like another version of that. But yeah, I think that's a good wrap up session. Do you have any final words before we sign off?
Oh well, thank you for having me. As usual, like and subscribe, everybody. But just to go down the list real quick, my personal picks are Tiafimo over Martin, Jared over Forrest, Davis over Burgos, Zayas over Flores, Carrington over Tapia, Tiger Johnson and Michael Hahn. I don't know. I was about to toss it. I've never seen that Hahn nigga fight, but I'll pick Tiger.
Yeah, Michael Hahn, he's a pretty tough white fighter. I don't know too much about him.
Yeah, he's only got one loss, 16-1, so that's pretty solid. Yeah, I'm basically on Top Rank Star. I'm picking all the A sides. I'm picking all the A side fighters. I'm picking Lopez over Warrington for sure. I think he get knocked the fuck out. And fuck Terrence Crawford this entire card. But I hope Jeremiah Milton wins because he's the only person on the card actually playing.
Oh yeah, Milton, he's fighting on that card.
Yeah, I don't know who he's fighting, but I hope he fucking wins. 'Cause I like him.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, but that's
Yeah, but that's
pretty
all.
lit.
Those are just my picks.
All right. Yeah, but I'll definitely catch up with you after the fights, and obviously to hell with Terrence Crawford. Fuck that card. But
Team Ivanesian at this point. If Ivanesian can pull it off, great.
yeah, please, so that way we can get undisputed with Spence. But yeah, I appreciate you for coming through, and I will talk with you later.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. You have a good one.
Yep, same to you, bro. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for coming through. Shout out to D-Hive. And yeah, man, shout out to the mighty LDBC. And here's the outro. I'll see you guys later. Peace.